Good afternoon. My name is Christina Kunika, and this is my oral presentation about physical interpretation performance that I did in Term 3. Stanislavski was born in Mexico on 17 January 1863. Stanislavski was a Somila Soviet and Russia theater practitioner. He was widely recognized as an outstanding character actor, and the many productions that he directed generated him a reputation as one of the leading theater directors of his generation. Stanislavski is considered to be the father of the acting system. This Russian actor, director, and teacher spent the majority of his life working out a system that will help in organizing and strengthening the creative process known as acting. Stanislavski described actors as having an inner emotional turmoil wherever their outworld appearance. He advised actors to listen to the inner tempo rhythm of their lines and use this as a key to find psychological truth in performance. So for my prep, I had to use imagination, which is the grief of my dad, how I felt and what I went through after I lost him. So I had to create believable emotions and action in the character that I was portraying. As Stanislavski recalls, our program was revolutionary. We rebelled against the old way of acting, against the affections and false patterns, against the declamation and exaggeration, against conversational of production and set, against the star system which ruled the assembly. Stanislavski began to develop a system of training for actors that will enable them to perform realistically in any sort of role and situation. So for my prep, I had to put myself in my character situation to build believable character. Stanislavski implicitly evaluates the proper limits and intersections of the actor conduct on stage, and specific the moral relation between the actors and his performance. He defines an art, an attitude, a set of values. Stanislavski creates an ethos of modern actor. Improvisation was a testing part of my rehearsal process. As an actor, I had to reach far into myself in creating the role. For my prep, I had to portray emotions by putting myself in the place of the character. Stanislavski believed that an actor needed to take his or her own personality onto the stage. So for my performance, the reason I decided that I was going to focus on the specific word, which is depression, is something that I am expressing since I have lost someone who was very close into my heart, my dad. So for my prayer process, I had to use one of Stanislavski method, emotional memory, to prepare for a role that involves emotions. I had to remember or bring the picture back on how my dad died on my hands and how I was begging him not to close his eyes, and how I pretended to be the strong person in front of my siblings, and how I started to hurt myself. So that's why in my performance I use the blade as my prop. The directing choice I used in my rehearsal was Stanislavski's principles of directing, and his collective theories on acting were very influential in the late 19th century and still used by actors and directors today. Naturalism. Stanislavski believed that in order to make a character true, the character must receive from the inside. So I had to relive on a real inside life of the actor, such as memories in my prep. Realism was 19th century theatrical movement seeking to portray real life on the stage. So for my prep, it was depressing. My character would overthink, I would overthink. She was miserable, I was miserable. She would cry, I would cry. Since I was doing intense role, I have put so much focus on dropping into a role and very little on leaving the role behind me at the end of the day. So the physical challenge I had, our imagination a powerful force. So my mind and my body couldn't always tell the difference between reality and make believe. I was not able to leave the character or the role I was doing behind. I became emotional the whole day. Stanislavski's technique stems from his theater practice and is still used by actors around the world today. The method is an actor training system made up of various different techniques designed to allow the actors to create believable characters and help them to really put themselves in the place of the character. Thank you.